There's nothing like being in the stands cheering on your favorite team. Game Time is your hack to unlocking amazing tickets in just a few taps. Plus, their Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets at the best price. Fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. Get the best deals on sports tickets. Download the Game Time app and create an account to start searching for tickets to upcoming games and events. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Game Time.
As a small business owner, have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pressure of choosing the right hire or leading a team? Or have you ever found yourself tolerating a bad hire because you fear trying and failing again as you repeat the hiring process? If so, you're not alone, and you are in the right place. Welcome to the Growing Your Team podcast. The Growing Your Team podcast teaches business owners like you to expand your unique business by teaching you to master the hiring and team management process. Hiring and managing a team does not have to be a challenge. You just have to learn to do it right. And the Growing Your Team podcast teaches you how to become a confident leader who hires right every single time. Now, let's jump into the show where each episode you will learn tips on how to identify what type of help you need on your team, how to source amazing candidates, how to conduct interviews that lead you to your ideal team member, how to onboard successfully, and how to lead every person in your business so you have a team of rock stars who you are happy to pay every single paycheck. So let's jump in and teach you how to hire like a pro. Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. Today, we're going to talk about job posts. A job post is one of the tools that you use during the hiring process. Of course, you know this. You know that is what you put out on job boards. It's how you announce your openings and everything. So you can fill your open position. So you can find that person that you really want on your team. So the ultimate goal of going through the hiring process is to get that great team member, the person you're going to be happy giving a paycheck to. The question is, or really what we're going to discuss today is, what is the goal of a job post? So if we look at it, each step of the hiring process, we should have a goal that we want to achieve with that step that is going to help us achieve that ultimate goal of hiring the right person. So the job post has a very specific goal. And this is one where I feel that sometimes we overlook this goal. Sometimes we figure it will come later. And sometimes we're just not skilled enough to be able to achieve this goal on our own. And this is where we need to bring in help so this goal can be achieved. Because if this goal is not achieved at this step, and I'll get to that goal in just a minute, it is going to make it very difficult for you to achieve that big arching goal. So if you think about it this way, if you want to get an A in a class, you need to get A's majority of the time throughout that entire class. You can't just have a goal of getting an A in a class and then be satisfied with getting C's on every test. A C on a test is not going to get you that ultimate A in the class, correct? So we got to look at the hiring process as the same. Goals throughout the process, when they are achieved, help us reach that big arching goal of hiring the right person. So what is the goal that you should have when you write a job post? The goal should be to have your idea candidate read that job post and be nodding their head saying, yes, that is me. This job post just described me to a T. This is exactly what I want to do, exactly what I am looking for, and this matches the skills that I have. and touches on the areas where I see development and growth opportunities for me to get to that next level. Right? So we want someone, as I said, nodding their head and saying, yes, that is me. I have found that so many business owners are afraid of setting this goal. And why are they afraid of setting this goal? It's because they are afraid of turning people off with their job post. They want to please everyone. A lot of the businesses I work with, deep down, we're people focused. We have that people pleaser mentality. We want to be helpful. We don't want to exclude. We want possibly inclusive businesses, and that means all different things to who we are in our business and things like that. So the last thing we want is our job post to turn someone off. But guess what? Your job post needs to turn people off in order to be effective. I'll repeat that because it's important. Your job post needs to turn people off in order for it to be effective. What I didn't say is your job post needs to offend people. We're not looking to offend people. We are looking to just make someone go, no, that's not the right opportunity for me. I am not going to apply for that opening. So instead, we want someone, once again, to read that and say, yes, that is me. And in order for one person to say, yes, that is me, other people need to read that and say, no, that is not me. Because we're not the same. We don't have the same goals as everyone else. We don't have the same desires. We don't have the same skills. And that's okay. We're not looking to have our job appeal to everyone. We are looking to have our job appeal to the person who is right for the opening. If you think about it this way, and I know I've talked about this before, a lot of time on some of our guest episodes and everything, is hiring is a lot like marketing. You hear people talk about all the time is if you market to everyone, you really market to nobody. And that's what it's like with the job post. If you write your job post to please everyone, you're really writing that job post for no one. And if you write it for no one, chances are your ideal candidate is not going to apply because they're going to hold off and wait for that job that does connect with them. If you think about it, there's a lot of opportunities out there on the market right now. So why should they take their time applying for a job that doesn't feel right? So you want your job to feel right to the right person. Yes, this might mean when you put that job posting out there that really speaks to your ideal candidate, that has some people nodding their head and saying, yes, that is me, you could possibly get fewer applications than if you just made it very generic. But guess what? Those fewer applications you get are more likely to be good quality applications. So, to be honest, no one really wants to post a job and have there be 200 applications. Why? Because even though it might seem like, hey, look, all these people want to work for me, you then have to read through 200 applications. That's a lot of work. And you don't know which of those 200 is going to be your right candidate, so you really do have to review them all. On the other side, if you only have 10 applications, but 7 of those applications you look through and say, oh my goodness, these candidates are fantastic in terms of their resume, that's amazing. That's what you want. A lot of our goals is to find the right people. We're not trying to find a large number of people because typically we only have one opening. So we don't need 200 people to fill one opening. We really all we need is one person who matches exactly what we're looking for. When I do full service recruiting for clients and I'm talking a lot to candidates, or I am hiring for myself here at Growing Your Team, one of the things that I hear pretty frequently, and this kind of lights me up where I'm just like, yes, we're doing it, is when a candidate will tell me in the interview, when we're talking about whether I either ask them directly or they just decide to share, why this job? Why this opportunity? And they go, I read the job posting and those were my words. That is how I describe who I am as a person. That is how I describe the type of company I want to work for. That is how I describe the job that I want. Those were my words in that job posting. And that allows us to really know that we're hitting the mark when people can identify with who we are trying to say is right for this opening. And there's a lot of times those candidates that say that are right. They might not end up being the person that gets hired at the end of the day, but they are the people that move along in the process because they do identify with who we're looking for. They do have the skills for what we need in the opening. And they identified that, and we can see the connection, which that's what we want in the hiring process. So yes, the goal of the entire hiring process is for you to find your ideal team member. But the goal of the job posting is for you to connect with somebody because you use the language that shows them that they are right for the opening. So once again, your goal of a job posting should be to turn people off because instead you are going to connect with your ideal candidate because you're speaking directly to them. So make sure that you're taking the time to write a good job posting. It is so critical so you can get the right people into your hiring process, the right people into that funnel that will bring you down to that ideal team member, the one that you're so excited to hire. None of that can be done if you don't have a good quality job posting. So if you're not capable of writing a job posting that can do that, get help. Sometimes it's that we are too close to our business. We don't know how to take what we are thinking and put it into words that will connect with other people because we are super close. We do this day to day. We're taking work off our plate and we're trying to describe how and what and all these things that are hard because we're so close to the work. So don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to ask people, how would you describe this? What would you say is this? Talk through things so that way you can get the right job posting or hire help, like growing your team, to make sure that you're writing a job posting that speaks to your ideal candidate. It is possible, and trust me, it makes all the difference. Just to share a quick example, and you've probably heard this one before if you've listened to the podcast for a while or listened to some of the other podcasts that I've guested on. I once had a client very early on that we were working together to really help him leverage his team and properly delegate so we could go on vacation. During that time when we were working together, he had an opportunity to expand his team and bring on a new team member. He made comment that he dreaded hiring. It was such a stressful situation because he never gets ideal candidates. No one's ever qualified, and he sometimes is lucky to get anyone at all to apply. So he's like, I hate it. And I was like, okay, well, that's where we're here together, not only to help you delegate, but to help you with hiring when you need to hire. So I was like, let's pull up that job posting. Let's look at it. And the job posting was about 4 lines long, pretty much just saying, hey, we're a gym, we're hiring, apply. And I was like, well, right there, that's your problem. Your job posting is so generic. It pretty much is just a help wanted sign in a window. And he made comment, he goes, I do that on purpose. I want the ability to be in charge of who I interview and who I don't interview. I want anybody who's looking for this type of job, it was for a personal trainer, so a personal trainer job in a gym, to apply. So then I can select. And I was just looked at him, I was like, well, how's that working for you? And he thought about it. And then he came back and said, well, I guess it's not. I was like, yeah, it's not. I'm like, there are so many opportunities out there. Why would they come to yours if they don't feel connected, if they don't see a reason to come to your gym? And so we rewrote the job posting. We described exactly who would be ideal for this position, what skills they should have had, what experience. I will add that this gym specialized in a certain sport. helping athletes that did that sport. So knowledge of that sport was really a requirement. And once we put out that job posting, within 48 hours, there were 4 highly qualified candidates who applied, one who was hired, I think, by the end of the next week. So it really changed things. It really made a huge difference and showed him that when you speak to your ideal candidate, you're more likely to get your ideal candidate to apply because it connects with them and they say, yes, this is the job for me. So if you're struggling to find your ideal candidate, let's break down the hiring process and look to see, are you achieving the goals that need to be met at each step? Starting with that job posting, let's make sure your job posting is speaking to your ideal candidate so people are nodding their head and saying, yes, this is the job for me, I'm going to apply, or saying, no, it's not the job for me, and they're moving on. So once again, if you need help writing that great job posting, if you need someone to review it, don't be afraid to get help. We can help you here at Growing Your Team or find other ways to get the support you need because it is so important for you to get the right help on your team when you need it so your business can grow and thrive and you can feel like every dollar you spend on a team member is well worth it.
Are you getting ready to hire and you wrote a job posting for your open position, but now you're left wondering, will it attract the right candidates? Hiring isn't as simple as telling people that you're hiring and having your perfect candidate show up ready to fill the role. Hiring just doesn't work that way, especially in the current market. The best candidates only apply to the positions that appear to be the right fit for them. If they don't find a connection between their job wants and your job posting, they'll skip over and go to the next opportunity. And in many cases, the reality is it's not the job isn't what they're looking for. It's not the job posting just didn't hit the mark. So is your job posting helping candidates see that your opening is right for them, or is it turning candidates away for all the wrong reasons? Let's find out. I am currently offering Will Your Job Posting Attract the Right Candidates audit. Through this audit, I will review your job posting, and I will tell you what's working and what needs to change so you can attract your ideal candidates. So if you want your job posting reviewed by an expert before it goes live, or if you have a job posting that just is not hitting the mark in the current market, sign up for an audit. Let's review it and make the changes needed so you can attract your perfect fit team member. Because remember, you can't hire a candidate who never applies for your job. And most candidates won't apply if they don't feel connected to the job posting. So let's make sure you have a job posting that will attract all the right candidates and help you make this hiring journey easier. Go to growingyourteam.com/audit and sign up for your audit today. Once again, that's growingyourteam.com/audit.